What's going on, everyone? Kyle from Next Generation Sports Cards back with another video for you guys on the road to making $50,000. This video, we're going to do a quick breakdown of where we stand with our three major goals, kind of discuss some other side goals I've been thinking about, and really just trying to grow my sports card business. So if you guys are interested in something like that, please give us a follow. New to YouTube, new to filming, definitely having some fun with it, definitely some growing pains, as you guys will see, especially I think in the upcoming videos of things that we thought would go smoothly and most certainly are not. But we are still continuing to grow here and having some fun doing it. So the main goal here is to make $50,000 selling strictly sports cards. We started this at the beginning of the year to make $50,000, had some hiccups with tracking, accounts, eBay, stuff like that. So created all new accounts, all new separate bank accounts, a separate eBay for cards. And we're going to really be focusing that way. It's going to be easier to track the monetary values of, what's being deposited from cards and other things that I sell. As I've said, I have a primary business that buys and sells pretty much everything and anything. And that's my busy season is the summer because we can do yard sales and that kind of stuff. So it was going to be a little bit hard to track in the summer. It was even difficult over the winter. So wanted to reset that. We also have goals to get monetized on TikTok and on YouTube. So if you haven't already done so, please give us a follow here on YouTube. We need to hit 1,000 followers on YouTube and 10,000 on TikTok. So we're going to be trying to up our posting game a little bit here and getting that going. Also have some side goals of, just growing on Instagram, as well as a little bit of networking locally here. So getting some contacts, people that I can, buy, sell, trade with. Get it in and out of cards a little bit easier. So in my local area, I live here in Rhode Island, in New England area. So looking to meet some people. Been doing more card shows, more trade nights at my local card shop, that kind of stuff to develop a relationship with some people. And we've starting to see some of that grow. So pretty much going to break down where we stand right now. So as I said, the goal for networking, 5 people, 5 contacts. I'm going to pretty much do that by, do I have direct contact to them? So do I have their phone number or like an email, Instagram, something like that, where they know who I am. And if I send them a message, they'll actually get back to me. Instagram, we're at 38 followers at the moment. We are posting daily. My goal is to post once a day, just a card that's up for sale. We've started to see some growth there. So it's fairly new. I'm very inconsistent with pretty much all social media, not a big social media person, but trying to grow it, especially in the card industry. It's easier, I think, to make some sales if you can get some social media behind you as well. Instagram, I know, is a big place, and I don't even have a TikTok yet. Not a TikTok, X account. So thinking about doing that as well to get, I know that, there's some good accounts on there. So network a little bit on that as well. TikTok, we currently have 1,386 followers. I didn't really track how many followers I had since about 4 days ago. I posted a video of we're going to retry the 50K challenge. I really got back into posting on TikTok there. Had 130, as I said, 1,386. Don't know how many I gained. I would guess around 175 to 200 new followers. We posted pretty consistently over those 4 or 5 days. I think I missed one of the days. And the first video I did of me restarting the 50K challenge did get me 154 new followers. So that was a decent growth there. YouTube, we're at 85 followers or subscribers. We gained 8 over the past 4 days. That's really big for me. I don't have a ton of growth here on YouTube. Wasn't posting consistently. Had some like 2 weeks gaps, stuff like that. So we're going to be trying to be a little bit more consistent, at least 2 videos, maybe 3 a week. We've been opening a lot of boxes. I actually do have a lot of backfill stuff to post and some ideas to kind of make me be consistent. And I'll kind of talk about that a little bit later and probably do another video on it, as well as, someone that's looking to get into filming for YouTube or TikToks, that kind of stuff, and what to know, especially from someone who does not know anything about filming, uploading, any of that kind of stuff. My wife's helped me a lot. I've done a lot of YouTube videos and trying to learn how to do edits and that kind of stuff. But if I can get through it, anyone can get through that. The next one and the biggest one here is the goal to make $50,000. So we started with $500. We announced that in our last video. Since then, we've had just about a week go through. We sold $610 in one card sale on a form I use. So I use blowout card forums I occasionally post on there. My goal is to post one card a day. It's the card from Instagram that I'm posting. I'm posting that card for sale and then putting it on as a link onto blowoutcardforums.com. And trying to sell cards that way. We had one Corbin Carroll card that we put up for $640, sold, made $610 after fees and shipping. We also sold $500 worth of cards at a trade night I went to recently at my local card shop. And we had a really good week on eBay. We sold $1,834 worth of cards. That's pretty good for me. I've been flipping my inventory, had a lot of low-end stuff, getting into higher-end stuff. So we've had some pretty big sales. That brought our total profit to $3,444. So obviously had some expenses here though. So we went to a trade night. As I've said, we sold $500, but we bought $100 worth of cards. Typically they're negative endeavors for me because I use trade night as a great way to buy a lot of inventory. There's a big trade night coming up. This is Memorial Day weekend. The following weekend is going to be a pretty big one for me. There's a big sports card show, and they're doing their first ever trade night there. I plan on attending it, plan on spending a good amount of money, a healthy amount of money on cards and inventory, and hopefully trading on some of the cards that I no longer really want in my inventory as well. So we'll see how that goes. But we spent $100 there. I went to the card shop, and I picked up 2 hobby boxes. So we got the Topps Chrome Jumbo, and then we are currently ripping this Topps Chrome Cosmic Football. So as I've said, I'm trying to get more consistent on posting on my YouTube and grow that way. One of my strategies is to post shorts every day. It's forcing me to think about it. It's forcing me to film something, and it's forcing me to post something. It takes me like 5 to 10 minutes to do the whole process between setting it up, filming it real quick, editing it, and then putting it onto my YouTube. But it's keeping me consistent with it. So I know that opening packs and boxes is a net loss for me right now. As far as the 50K challenge goes, most likely, unless you hit something big, obviously. But for me, it's worth it in the other goals of, if on TikTok I'm posting any card that is an autograph or a relic card or a cool numbered card, just cool anything. And then for the YouTube aspect, I'm posting every single day until I hit a superfractor is the idea behind it. So I know hitting a superfractor could be forever, but that's kind of the point, is to get me going and get me used to that. So we will see how that whole development goes, but it's definitely helping me go there. So I know it's a big expense, $860 on hobby boxes, but it's worth it for me. I also did get some supplies, some stuff I needed for grading and that kind of stuff, which brings me into my last major expense I had, which was I spent $515.16 submitting 21 cards to PSA. We sent one big card in, a little bit bigger than my normal, and we also had a value bulk submission of 20 cards. I'm going to show you guys those cards at the end of this video real quick, just so you guys can see what I'm sending in. Some pretty cool stuff, some case hits, that kind of stuff. Not my typical T, but from opening up some of the cards I recently did, we've actually been pretty lucky on some of the things we've hit. So I'll show you those cards that we sent in, but that was $1,475.16, which brings us to a grand total of $1,968.84 in profit for the 50K challenge. So we're going to continue with the challenge. We're having a lot of fun doing it, a little bit easy to track now. All right, guys, so this is everything we're sending in. So first submission, 2 submissions in this box. We spent $69.98 sending this one card in. Aaron Judge out of 10 on your Game Used Relic Auto on card from Topps Tribute. Pretty awesome card. This like wave pattern on the back kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop. Looking at it, I couldn't tell if there was damage on the back of it or not. It didn't seem like it. Took a cloth, kind of tried to like wipe it around. It didn't, I don't know. I'm a little torn on it, and the edge looked a little funky on one of the sides too. But I cracked it out of that sticker that you get for the redemptions, which I hate. I'm going to send it in no matter what. It's a good learning curve for me, and I think that this card will at least get an 8. So as long as the 8s are higher, it's worth it. I think an 8 probably will be break even. Anything over that will net me some money on the submission. So I'm excited to send that in and kind of see what happens there. Then I spent $445.18 on the rest of this submission. So we have the Brock Bowers on the short print flame emoji, Sunday Kings, Josh Allen. Those two I think have 10 opportunities. The Uptowns, Josh Allen. I think this is going to get a 9. There's like the smallest little nick there. I'll be delighted to see a 10. It goes from like a $250 car raw. When I looked at it when I opened this probably 2 weeks ago, it was going about 250, maybe 290, 300 at a 9. And then if it gems, it was a $1,000 card. There were 2 sales on that. So don't think it's going to gem. I think it's a 9. Verstappen Chrome out of 25. I think that has a 10 opportunity. Brady Refractor. This is 2007. I think this has a 9 opportunity, maybe 8. Cameron Brink on your select red ice. That's a 10 opportunity. Spider-Man Creator Auto red rainbow foil. I think that has a 10 opportunity. Carlos Alcaraz, I believe it has when you pronounce his last name. Not Go to Tennis. I know he was ranked number 1 for a while. I don't know if he still is, but it has that cool ghost background. I think that card has a 10 opportunity. Drake May, pulled this myself. Patriot fan, so a lot of reasons to send this in, but I think that's a 10 opportunity. Judge has a 10 opportunity. Ray Lewis on the on-card auto. He doesn't sign a ton, so his card looked pretty clean too. A 9 if this gets a 9, I'll be happy. I think it has a slight 10 opportunity, but I can't remember when looking at this. I'm very strict on what I send in, so I think it'll get a 9, possibly the 10. If it gets a 10, it'll get a nice premium there. Tiger Woods, I think this will get a 9, maybe an 8. Very slim chance at a 10 on this one. If it 10s, it will go to my PC. Probably won't move for a little while. I'll probably really price it up high on eBay if it sells great. But one of the cards I want in my personal collection, along with the Tony Hawk, actually. So looking for a Tony Hawk rookie PSA 10 at some point in my life. Skeens on your Bowman Chrome. I think that's a 10 opportunity. Steph Curry rookie. I think this is a 9-8 opportunity here. Aaron Judge base rookie needs to 10 or else not worth sending in. Same with the Betts, needs to 10. This Tom Brady I kind of just threw in here. It's one from my personal collection. It hasn't been up for sale yet. A lot of my cards for my PC at some point will go up for sale, but this has been sitting in my display for probably 5-6 years now. Love this card. Decided to send it in. I need 2 more cards to send in to get to the 20 bulk submission. Same with this Kobe. This is card that I'm looking to flip, but it's definitely off-centered here. I think you'll get a 9 with the off-centering, but just such a cool card. I think it's worth sending in, even if it gets the 9 on that. Last 2 cards here. Ellie De La Cruz out of 200 on the auto. A little bit thicker with the Inception card. I think this still has a 10 opportunity. And I pulled this with Malik Neighbors myself. Thicker jumbo RPA. I think it has a 10 opportunity. Want to get better at grading, so submitting some of these thicker cards I think is worth it. I don't think this is really worth the grade itself, because if it gets a 9, great. 10 would be awesome. 8 really won't do much, but I can't imagine too much of a bump for just like the base non-licensed Topps card here, but I could be wrong. But I just wanted to send it in. A thicker card, one of the better ones I have, so send it in, see what happens. But this is everything we're sending in. All right, so that was everything that we were sending in. I think that we have a pretty good submission going to PSA. As I said, the Aaron Judge, a little nervous on sending in, just because I know the value is going to drop a little bit. If you look at last year's, it's selling for like $500 to $750. So that's a pretty big drop from year over year. I think a lot of it obviously is the hype of the card, but I do think it's worth sending in. It's a good learning curve for me. I don't send in a lot of thicker cards. I've only sent in 1 before. It was a CJ Stroud patch auto rookie, and I got a 10 on it. I didn't expect to get a 10. I was going for a 9-8. Got a 10, and that card went for a premium because of that. So I want to send this one in, see what happens. A little bit nervous about sending it in, but it's the biggest card I ever sent in, so it kind of makes sense to be that way. But if you guys haven't done so already, please feel free to subscribe, follow, all that, like, comment. Greatly appreciate it. We're excited for the road to 50K, see what we can do here, and we'll catch you on the next one.